Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lungleng show. Today is a very special day because I have someone very, very special on our show today. I think she doesn't need a lot of introduction, but I would just let you know that she's Hikali Achumi, and she is Miss Nagaland 2022 and Miss Sumi 2022, and she has a mission where we would, her own mission, and we would be talking about it later. And also, she's an ambassador for anti-drug campaign Zunebodo, as well as she's the ambassador for Jal Jivan Mission Zunebodo. And I think we all, if not everyone, of course, there are youngsters. At least majority of youngsters know about her, and she's well present on social media. I think she's doing a lot of stuffs for people around her, and projecting in a very beautiful way for youngsters. And I think we have seen, or we have crossed paths in many ways on social media. So let me not introduce her further. Let her talk about herself, what she's doing and her background and so on. So I can't wait to just have this conversation with her. So thank you so much, Hikali, for joining us in this conversation.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, we have been trying to, do this conversation for, I think it's been more than a year now.
Right,
right. Thank you for finally coming on our show.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Yeah, wonderful. So I have seen your social media, especially on Instagram, and I think you have just hit 100K followers. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How do you feel having hit 100K today?
Oh, well, it was a long-term dream.
Yeah.
Finally came true.
Correct.
I just woke up today morning, actually. So yeah, I'm so happy for it.
I'm happy for you as well. It means you have that credibility in the eyes of youngsters. That means you have a responsibility, and we'll come to that.
Right.
So let me know, where are you from actually, like your childhood? Where were you born, and which area you were born in? Which village do you belong to?
Oh, well, I was born and raised from a very humble family in Kohima. Yeah, and I am from Shena Old Village, Zunebodo.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were born in Kohima and
In
raised
Kohima,
here.
yes.
So that means definitely you will have let's say, lesser contact with your village, rather, because you're more into Kohima, town rather than.
Yeah, but it's been, quite a lot of times I've been to village to attend the student union programs. They invite me and such. So yeah, I have visited village often.
Right.
Very often, actually.
Right. So I want to make sure for our audience as well that you are from Kohima, not from Dimapur.
From Kohima, really. A lot of people think that I'm from Dimapur, but
correct,
yeah.
Correct. So that's our general assumption, of course. But it's very nice to know. And what are you studying nowadays? I think you just freshly graduated. So what did you study? Or which school did you go for your high school? Or maybe let's say primary school, high school, and class 12 and graduation? Where did you do all of that?
Well, I did my schooling from Chanmar Higher Secondary School, Kohima. Yeah.
Okay.
And right after matriculation, I joined diploma. So I didn't study 11 and 12. I joined directly diploma in civil engineering at not Kaziranga, at Government Polytechnic Kohima.
Okay. Kohima.
And right after my diploma, I joined bachelor's of degree in civil engineering at Kaziranga University, Jorhat. So that's where I graduated my BTech.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I wonder what made you choose engineering. Like I told you briefly before, I have hardly come across. I mean, of course, there are people, especially the Naga girls, taking up engineering or technical STEM course or STEM degree. So, what made you decide? Was it your parental, let's say, pressure, or it was a choice?
Okay, interesting question. Well, I find that as a cool subject, engineering.
Of course, it's cool. Many people can't afford to go there.
Well, actually, it all started, back in the year 2016, when I first passed my matriculation with merit. I actually attempted for 2 exams, entrance exam. So one for Government Polytechnic Kohima to study engineering, and the other for Science College.
Okay.
So, I ended up passing the GPK exam and failing for the Science College one. So fate had its way. I ended up pursuing engineering.
Okay.
And that made me into the person I am today.
Wow. But when you assess yourself, your personality and your, let's say, capabilities and skills, because I'm somebody who is more leaning towards social sciences, and I know I can never excel in all this like STEM, technical studies and all. So I was very sure of myself.
Okay.
Were you very sure when you were in class 10 or in your high school or in your higher secondary school that you were more of a technical student?
Well, when we were kids, we all have our ambitions and goals, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it do changes from time to time.
Absolutely.
But it so happened to me that I would say, my aim in life is to become an engineer.
Whoa.
So that was not intentionally, but I don't know, like it comes from my mouth that, that I want to become an engineer like that. So like before I said, I passed GPK exam. So when I passed that examination, there are different branches that we choose. And then civil engineering is something which I chose because we all know back then, a decade ago, the road condition in Lungleng, right?
Yeah.
So for all this concern that we all do have, so do I. So I learned that civil engineering is one such field that deals with the construction, road construction. So that's how I, chose civil engineering.
Okay. But I think you equally have that capacity to really pursue that. Otherwise, you just cannot choose civil engineering when you don't have the mathematical or all these technical skills. Maybe I think you really have that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible, honestly, because I cannot imagine doing that.
Well, it depends on our interest.
Yeah.
When we focus, our full interest on that, it becomes interesting.
Right. But why choose Kaziranga University somewhere in Kaziranga rather than in Lungleng? Don't we have a good engineering college or what?
There are very few, in fact. But then being Kaziranga University, that's in Jorhat, so it's very near from our state as well.
Okay.
So a lot of our classmates, we went together there. Yeah. That's how we joined together,
Okay.
In fact, 50% of our classmates joined Kaziranga University,
Oh.
and we were classmates there as well.
Okay, so your classmates from Kohima.
From GPK, Government Polytechnic Kohima.
Oh, yes, GPK. Okay, now I got it. Then you joined there, and how many years did you spend your life there in the college in Kaziranga University for?
3 years.
3 years.
Actually, Bachelor's of Technology is 4 years, but as a diploma student, we enter as lateral entry. So we joined from the second year. So that's how we completed from 3 years.
Okay. I'm personally proud of you. I mean, to see somebody pursuing civil engineering, and
Thank you.
because I think a lot of men and boys pursue this kind of course rather than girls. Or did you see that pattern in our society?
Well, maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Because maybe it comes from my ignorance or something, but that's what I sense anyway. How is Kaziranga as a place? That university, that Jorhat area. For you to go from Kohima and go to settle in a place where it is so warm.
Okay. Yeah. Let me answer that. Well, at first, when I heard about Kaziranga University, I didn't quite like, the name itself. I feel like it will be the Kaziranga Zoo.
I know. Not so appealing, right?
Yeah, lots of, rhinos and monkeys.
I know.
Just kidding. But then,
that's true.
Well, yeah, by the name, I didn't quite like it. But as I, joined, my expectation was, far more better than what I thought it was. And especially the reason how, I love the fact about how Kaziranga has 100% placement job. So they give us the liberty to choose, for the opportunities that we get. They give us the liberty. And that's how in my final semester, I also got a placement job. And I worked for a few months in Guwahati.
Okay.
So yeah, they gave us the liberty to let us work there in Guwahati. And any other places if we get a placement job. So they conduct such placement jobs, placement drive,
campus placement, right?
Yeah. So that's how we got a lot of opportunities.
Right.
See, for me, or I often tell this to everyone, that it always depends on ourselves, depends on from person to person.
Yep.
So some might ask me, how is Kaziranga University? And I may say, 10 out of 10. Like, I loved it, I enjoyed it,
Really?
I was able to, live my full potential to what I am expected to.
Okay.
And similarly, when some may ask my classmate, how is Kaziranga, he may give a different review as well.
Right.
So it does differs from person to person.
Okay. Means overall you enjoyed your experience.
Yeah, it's 10 out of 10, for me.
Oh, wonderful. Would love to visit. Yeah. Okay. I wonder what job experience did you have? You said you had to work in Guwahati for a few years or something sometime.
Yeah.
What job was that?
So, I worked for 7 months actually in my final semester. So I worked as a business development executive at a corporate at the company.
Okay.
That was in Guwahati. I joined from January and then ended from till July. So 7
January
months.
till July, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was did you graduate? Which year was it?
It was in the year 2022.
Okay. All right, right after COVID. So yeah, that's not long ago. That means between 2022 to 2024. I'm sorry if I sound like an HR interview, but like I just want to know how did you spend your time other than that 7 months of working with the company?
Oh, well, in the year, towards the end of my job, that is in the month July, I was crowned as Misumi.
Okay.
And that will be the purpose why I left the job as well.
I see now.
Yeah,
See?
so
Okay.
glitz and glamours was introduced to me, so that's how
Right.
I started continuing my content creating and as an influencer, and that's how I am.
But do you
doing right now.
at any point of time did you feel you are losing in touch a little bit of your engineering skills when you started participating in this beauty pageant and more of a social skills and presentation skills rather than all these technical skills? Did you feel at any point of time until today?
Oh, well, you have a very good point on that. Well, I was doing what I love, a role that I love to do, that feels my passion.
Get it.
So similarly, I do realize that there I as an engineering student, I still have my journey unfolding. So
I get it.
I still strive to become what I want to become.
Absolutely.
So I am not leaving that technical thing,
Yeah.
still striving towards that as well.
Right.
So
Because that
I
was your
haven't
dream.
left that.
Correct. That was your dream goal. So you're still pursuing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we take sabbaticals sometimes. We take study break and gaps. That's quite normal. It's something like a gap for you where you start engaging with something else.
Kinda, yeah.
Rather, I think that will enrich you to look engineering from a different perspective, right? Not just so engineering, but you get to expose to different perspective of social life with different people. I think we need that as well. Otherwise, we might end up becoming a nerd, like not having the social skill. But you are developing that, so I'm really happy for you. In fact,
Thank you.
yeah. And then now, what are you doing nowadays? Because you have been so active with beauty pageant, and it's a role as an influencer in visiting many places, taking a lot of courses, social courses, and so on. I wonder what you are busy at this moment for.
Well, at this moment, I would say I'm creating content as an influencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a role that I love to do. That is filling my passion and also support me financially. So yeah, content creator is what I am doing right now.
Before we jump into the idea of content creation, I would like to know: are you doing anything else, apart from content creation for your engineering career?
Oh, well, I just joined my coaching classes.
Okay.
So I am taking coaching for the technical. I want to, strive towards what I actually aim for, my initial goal.
Right.
So as I strive towards that, I believe that, I will continue to trust in God's plan.
Correct.
Because
correct.
it's all in His plan that we are
Correct.
living right now. So
Right.
yeah, with faith and gratitude.
Right. But let me plainly ask you: you haven't lost your interest in engineering, right?
I haven't.
Yeah. Great.
I haven't.
I'm so happy. So we're not wasting time staying in Kaziranga.
No.
Okay, I'm so happy to know that. Now, coming back, let's say you are into social media and content creation, and you know that you have a big platform, and you are being followed and watched and rather observed by hundreds and thousands, tens and thousands of youngsters. So before you put up any content, how did you decide that I should put up this content? Because there are many people, so I need to make an example of how I put up content. Did you think in that direction sometimes?
Okay, before I put up any content, as in like before I become an influencer or something like
not
that,
really.
right?
Suppose how do you curate your content? Because of course we can't put up any random content that comes to our mind, because we are responsible for thousands of hundreds and thousands of youngsters that follow us, right? So how did you decide which content is good, which content should not be put up? How did you decide normally?
Okay, Well, let me first start to
Please take your time.
my initial thought of why I started this journey or why I started,
Yes.
being active on social media.
Correct.
So my sole purpose of being active on social media or share part of my life in social media is because I wanted to do it for the glory of God. So because what is the purpose? Like, what will I profit even if I get billions of followers and not and still lose my soul? So my sole idea was to share the good news, the gospel, or share my ideas about the ethics and morals and values. So even before I was crowned as Miss Sumi, I usually share content regarding those
Faith related.
faith related Bible verse or about substance abuse, which I really love. So example, if you are smoking, if you're a person who smokes, I will not just post like do not smoke because it's bad for your health, something like that, but I will rather post something like smoking is something which is not cool, you don't look cool when you smoke. So which one will you feel more often than the later one, right?
Exactly.
So just like that, we like to post those that try to relate, the good morals and ethics. So that's how I started creating content towards that side, towards faith related, to normalize how we should be faithful with our ground, with our religion and stuff like that. So that's how it all started from there, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. So your content, you want to revolve around moral ethics and faith and let's say good works and good principles in life. Not necessarily anything that deviates just to catch people's attention. We don't want to go for it. You don't want to go for that, right? Because you can do anything to catch people's attention, but that's not your goal. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Although sometimes we do have to do something that catches people's attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But not just for that.
Sometimes it is for that as well.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, it is for that as well because we need views, we need followers, because that's where I am. Living towards that's how I am being financially independent as well.
Right.
So for all the stuff we do need, but keeping in mind if that is really a good content.
Exactly.
We need to filter it.
It does not contradict with your values, with your principles. So. Of course, we have to work towards catching people's attention because
we do have to.
Nowadays, where there is attention, there is money, right? In a way. Now, but not at the cost of compromising your values.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think that's very, very clear. So, how do you view yourself as someone? You think, and we agree that you have a responsibility as an influencer because you're influencing a lot of people. Right. So how do you decide to make good use of social media, and how do you want to advise to people or youngsters as a social media influencer?
Okay. Well, like I said before, it all depends on us, right?
True.
How we view it. How we view it. So the word itself says influence. So influence, they only have one job to do, that is to influence the people. And there is only two ways that people are influenced, that is in the wrong way or in the right way as well.
That's beautiful.
So me and my friend, we might have watched the same video, but I might have learned something a lot from them, and then my friend, he might have not learned anything or instead wasted a time watching that. So just like that, we just have to be mindful and be wise of what we watch on social media as well. So it solely depends on us. We just have to be mindful and wise on how we see.
True, and we have to be mindful of whom we follow also.
Right.
That's important, right?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you talk about, you seem to be a very religious person, as in you talk a lot about God, you talk a lot about faith and so on. How did that feeling develop? When did it start developing in your life about God, faith, and religion and so on? Okay.
Well, I like to call myself a spiritual person rather than a religious person.
Okay.
There's a difference. So I think I've said it before that even before Misumi, all I wanted, like if I am being active on social media. If I am, spending my time on social media, I'd rather do it for the glory of God. So that's how I started try to normalize sharing Bible verses, because trust me, like back then, now it is, it is normal to send all the stuff. Like I don't feel any cringe or nothing as such. But before it wasn't much like that.
Okay.
But then I wanted to make sure that we should like it's a good platform where we can share gospel. It's a good platform where we can share good news. So even before Misumi, I think I had around 10K followers like that. So it all started way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, having such a big platform, you can reach out to thousands of people at one go, and then sharing the goodness and faithfulness of God in a way that makes everything beautiful, right? That's a wise way of utilizing social media for sure.
Right.
So I really appreciate that. I think, as far as I understand you have a right way of understanding and utilizing social media, and that's very important, and that's good for our growth as well.
Right.
And I'm sure that will also help you stay closer to God each day, right? You just don't share for people.
It challenges, it's just not to share to people, but it does challenge ourselves as well.
Yeah, it reminds you also.
Right.
You are preaching, and what are you doing,
Yes,
right?
yes.
How does your normal day look like?
My normal day
nowadays,
like I said before, I'm going to coaching,
Right.
coming back home, I will check my notifications.
Correct.
Then I study.
So you wake up. What time you normally get up? Are you a night owl or you're just an early riser?
I'm a night owl.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I sleep so late at night, and then wake up, and then if I wake up to go to coaching, come
Okay.
back home,
Okay.
like that.
Oh, okay.
So around 7:30, that's how I normally wake up.
I want my audience to know the Hikali that people don't know. Behind the screen, behind the wall of Instagram, right?
Okay.
How do you live at home? Like, first of all, how is your relationship with your parents and your siblings, with your family?
How will I say?
Yeah, it's just a very open-ended question, but you can describe in the way you want it to. How's your relationship with them?
I am very, very close to my mom. Like she's like more than best friend, I would say.
Oh,
Yeah, I share almost everything. Like
Wow, that's
I don't
interesting.
think there is anything which I don't share as well. But like she understands me way, in every way. And my father, I respect him.
yeah.
And there are some times where I am not being able to, example, this such topics like example, if I'm invited in your show,
Yeah.
and I want to, I ask permission for everything actually. So
Yep.
if I want to let him say yes to this,
to come.
to come here, then I should first tell my mom. Then my mom will convince my father, and that's how my daddy will allow me.
That's
so
beautiful. That's nice.
that's how I usually have my relationship with my parents.
Okay.
It's like that, very friendly. I mean, like
Yeah,
I do share everything to my mom, but not everything to my dad.
Yeah.
But to my dad through my mom. So that's how my relationship is. And
Makes
then with my siblings,
You have how many siblings?
4.
4 siblings.
3 siblings,
Yeah.
including me. We are
You're
siblings
total
of 4.
4.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
So we're more like a friendship. It's more like a friendship. Right now, at the moment, me and my younger brother, it's just us that we are staying. My younger sister, she's studying somewhere. Also, my brother is also working somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay, so I mean that's something. Thanks for sharing that. And once you go home, other than your studies, how do you spend your time at home? Like, are you a kitchen person, or do you do all household chores?
Okay.
Because I'm sure people don't know about that. you know?
Right.
Yeah?
Well, see, when my sister was there, my sister and I, we will be the one to alternatively cook a dinner.
Oh.
So right now my sister is not there, and it's actually my job. But then I told you that I'm going for coaching, so
Right.
that's how I am studying. Actually, my
Okay.
all my routine has changed.
I know. Like,
It has changed, yeah.
because the study coaching part is a very intensive, studies to be done. Of course, that's. But other than that, are you a good
Other
cook?
than yes,
love
of
cooking?
course. We as women from Sumi household,
Yeah,
cooking is like,
part of your life.
yeah, part of life. It's like bathing. You don't need to ask.
That's
We do
interesting.
cook.
And what is your favorite food dish that you can prepare normally at home?
Everything, everything.
Yeah, tell me one.
Well, okay, one, of course, I would say smoked pork with akone.
Wow.
Smoked pork with akone because, akone is one thing which is so good when it comes to my mom's, from my mom. Yeah, like my mom's akune. I tell to everyone that, my mom's makes the best akune in the whole wide world. So, yeah, I think that will say my most special thing.
My mouth is already watering thinking about it. I'm sure, I wish you can serve all the viewers, your homemade food. They would really love it. So, yeah, I think that's very interesting, and it's good to know how you really live at home because we don't know that part. I'm glad to know the life that is less known to people. I mean, why I was interested because a lot of people know you as a social media figure, as Miss Nagaland, Miss Sumi, and I think you are engaged in a lot of activities and even events and so on. So before we start jumping into your event thing, I want to know how much does the idea of God and faith influence your life in decision making every single day or big decision making in your life? Suppose you want to do something. So how much, suppose you want to pursue a career, suppose you want to go to an event, you want to go for a long travel. So lately you went to Shillong or something.
Yeah.
Right? So so in every day we make decision. How much does a faith play role in making those decisions to you?
Okay.
Yeah, for you.
All right. So it's not very I don't know how will I say, like it's not that I ask God that I want to do that, so I'm doing that. I mean, is it okay? And then he will say yes, it's okay, so I'm going.
Of course,
it's not really like that, right? So but in everything that we do, like there's a Bible verse that says, no matter what you do, like do as a youth, do what you want to do, but remember that at the end, the God will judge you. Absolutely. Or do it and do anything, but do it for the glory of God. So no matter what decisions I do make, I should make sure that I am doing it for His glory and glory only.
Absolutely.
So although we do not really understand what His actual plan is, we make sure that we should trust and obey Him. So in Jeremiah it says, don't worry because He has a plan made for us. So just trusting in Him and obeying Him, I think, is what it will lead towards His plan and decision. So I feel whatever decisions I make, I should make sure that I am doing it for Him and His glory. And that's what I will believe, that it is His plan.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, we can't hear God. We can read only His principles, His word, His scripture, and so on. Definitely, we can't hear God to say yes or no.
Right.
But I think along the way, He confirms to us. He reveals Himself to us.
Right.
And He convinces us.
Yeah. Also, parents plays a very important role there because we say that they are the second God in at home, or they are the God at home, right? So whatever decisions I make, I do make sure that I tell my mom, and then she will tell me not to go or to go. So that's how I am confident that that's how I feel content, whatever decisions I make as well.
Wow! You seem to be one very, very family-oriented person. Right?
Yes, I love my family.
Family is your priority.
Yes.
That's beautiful, and you seem to have a very close relationship with your mother, and that's something very, very precious. When did you realize that your relationship with your mom is something very, very deep?
Well, I don't think there's a certain point where I realized. But ever since I was a kid, I will share everything, towards the extent of me admiring someone or someone, as a kid, someone trying, someone liking me, everything, I will share everything. Wow. Even today, I do share everything to him, to her.
That's the way to go. I mean, that's the
eventually it happens.
Right. That's the reason why we are family, right? If you can't share with your family and if you do everything in the background, then it doesn't look nice also. I'm sure your mom must be really happy that she has a daughter who shares and trusts her in all decision making.
I believe she does.
I don't want to get into so personal, but on social media, I'm sure you must be getting a lot of messages and flooding your DMs and so on. How do you manage that? Do you respond to people? Or how do you manage that?
Well, the DMs, it
Yeah.
comes in message request.
Yeah.
So I don't really check those message requests. I mean, like, it's not easy for us to check every messages that.
Absolutely.
So there's only few people that we follow on Instagram, and only those comes under the DM. So I don't think it's much of a hassle when
Right,
it
right.
comes to
But
messages.
suppose if somebody wants to tie up for a business for an event with you, and you're not connected with them, you don't follow them, and then they will send a message and it will come as a request which is not directly notified to you.
Right.
How will you know, for example?
Well, when I do notice those messages, I do
Yeah.
reply them.
Right,
Or there are, a lot of times there will be my friend or a mutual who will
right,
connect me through them, through my friends.
Correct.
Yeah, if they want to approach me, they will connect through my friends or through
Right.
my known people, and that's how they do connect me.
Yeah. I'm sure you're keeping a official contact point on Instagram as well, or you are not, right?
No,
I'm
I'm
seeing you're
not.
not. I think it would be nice to have that kind of official email, especially so people can mail you, or
Yes.
suppose I don't know you properly, and I don't have I don't know any one of your mutual friends. Suppose I come from Assam or outside. And want to set up a business in Nagaland and want to get in touch with you. So I'll struggle to get in touch with you. So maybe it can be a nice way for you to put up an email or something to
Yeah,
reach
I
out
think
to you.
email will be good.
Email will be good.
Yeah,
So that you can-
and I think there is a way where people get to trace the email, because I do get email sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, and they say that they got it through Instagram.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing one.
I'm not really sure how it happens.
No,
but
you have to.
It works.
Yeah, you have to turn your account into professional.
think,
account.
yeah, I should.
and add the email. So I'm sure that will really help you, because businesses are coming to Nagaland in many ways, in coaching centers and so on. So I'm sure you will be very helpful, and that will be good for you as well. Yeah. Now, knowing all about your relationship with family and how you tackle with social media and so on, you have been very passionate about working for a cause in your life, right? So, and you are ambassador for anti-drug campaign Sunebodo. Is that the cost? And you are also you also have a cause which is the Silver Vision. What is that Silver Vision all about? And and what are you doing with the anti-drug campaign?
Okay. Which one shall I answer?
You can
first?
start with the Silver Vision.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Silver Vision. Well, the reason why we call that word Silver Vision, the title
Yeah.
Silver Vision, is because I was crowned in Silver Jubilee during the Jubilee year, Silver Jubilee year 25th. So that's how we were labeled as the Silver Queens.
Okay.
So with that note, we named the title as Silver Vision. So Silver Vision is all about us with our passion and the concern that we have for the society towards environment.
Okay.
So not just because of the responsibility that we have on our heads, but then as a vivid environmentalist, we really wanted to work for the environment.
Okay.
And thanks to the administration in Zinaboto, because they really much supported us. And then that's how we started in the year 2023. We officially launched our Beauty with a Purpose project. So this Silver Vision is all about our Beauty with a Purpose project.
I see.
And it started because of that only. And then we connected through all the sectors in Znaboto. They have 11 sectors, and in all the sectors we were connected with the youths, and we call them as eco warriors.
I see. Wow.
So we call them as eco warriors, and they, we collectively worked together so much with our visions that we had. That is for the sanitation, for recycling, and for beautification, and that's how we worked a lot in Zinaboto. That's how we feel, with our caliber, genuine caliber, and then. There were so much stuff that we did. You can check from the Instagram, our page as well. Of course, there are so many things that we are yet to post. It's in my gallery yet to post, but then we have done so much. Yet, all the things that we have done, there is so much more that we do have in our vision and minds. So, the Silver Vision has not ended. We want to continue. Even more if given the opportunity.
Okay.
So Silver Vision is it is created by me and my stage partners. So my stage partners of Miss Summit 2022, that is Lee Novi and Niloli. So we three are the ones who started this silver vision.
Okay. Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
nice. And it's for environmental cause, right?
Right. That's for the environmental cost.
I think that's a very worthy cause, I would say. It's beautiful. Please keep that up.
Thank you very much.
But there is a general perception that when you start working for your cause, and which is and when you win the title for Miss Nagaland and so on, there's a general perception that they must be receiving a lot of funding from government and so on. I'm not asking you to condemn the government or appreciate the government, but I want to understand: do you get that kind of lot of fundings?
Well, it's not really. It depends on us how we approach, right?
Right.
So we did. We started. We had a vision, and we wanted to do all the stuff, and make all those dreams into reality.
Yep.
Money is something that we need.
Of course.
Yeah, and for those reasons, there are a lot of people who goes to a certain, for funding and all. So three of us, we had other way of getting the funds. That is, we actually organized a green carnival, a carnival called Green Carnival, and that was all about 48 of beautifying Zinaboto. So we wanted to generate money from there, and then that's how we worked on a certain thing which we want to. So we organized that Green Carnival, and from that income, we actually constructed a bus stand in Zinaboto.
Okay.
So while constructing that bus stand, the thing is, we didn't want to construct just a bus stand, we constructed, and that's all. Not like that. We want to construct a proper bus stand. So it's a proper bus stand which is standing very strong right now there. So we came to know that bus stand has a greater vision, which the people will be utilizing it even more in the future. So we are so happy for that.
Okay.
So we, for constructing that, it took us a lot of money, like all the money that we tried to spend on that. And then we later on realized that we had to, fund a little more. It was beyond our budget.
Correct.
Of what we initially had or initially collected. So for that, we actually approached one person. That person, he was genuine enough to contribute us 50,000, and from that 50,000 we could complete that. So I think throughout our process we would say that that was
a success.
A success for us, which we are which we have a greater vision, and we want to bring even forward
in the
with
future.
the title as a silver vision. We want to go forward.
I think that's the beautiful way of giving back to your own community, to your own district, right? I think that's beautiful, and I'm sure you will develop that area further, not just end with the bus stand as such. And I'm sure people are utilizing that very well, right?
Yes, they are, and we are expecting even more in the future.
Right. I think we will show this picture of your bus stand while we're talking.
Oh, sure.
So we'll put it on the screen so you can send me the picture. So we'll do that. I think thank you for sharing that. It's much needed. Whatever little way, sometimes you may think it's just a bus stand. People will say, yes, it's just a bus stand. What's the use? But I think it's not the bus stand we're talking about. It's the idea of giving back to your community, however big, however small it is. And that heart is what matters. And I like the idea that you had to organize Green Carnival idea and just earn from there. You don't necessarily go door to door knocking politicians' place and just asking for money and so on. I think that is the best way to look at. So thank you for initiating that, and I think that is a great model. Right.
Thank you. I would love to thank those artists who participated during the Green Carnival, because it's because of them as well. People bought our tickets and then came to witness them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was more like a concert as well. Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
So I thank our artists.
Yeah. I mean, it's so kind of them. And I mean, definitely you have credibility. Definitely you have trust. That's why people come and participate in that in the process of earning that income. That's wonderful. So, and we're also aware of the trend in our society where drug abuse among youngsters are getting very, very rampant nowadays. And you have been part of an anti-drug campaign for Jeonnebodho district. And what activities and what else are you doing for anti-drug campaign?
Okay, so as an anti-drug campaign, I am grateful for the opportunity that I got, to tour to different districts as my Beauty with a Purpose project. It all started as my Beauty with a Purpose project. So I, my passion for this, for the concern about this, my concern for this substance abuse lead me to tour 6 districts in Nagaland and Assam in the year 2023 and 6 more districts in the year 2024. So we went to all those districts trying to instill the awareness to the students to let them have the informed choices about this substance abuse. So that's how we were able to tour to those districts for this campaign. And on this note, I want to know my gratitude goes to the Assam Rifles, because it is through their support that I was able to tour to all those districts as well. So big thanks to our Deputy General Vikas Lakira. I'm so thankful to him for the support.
I think it's good that they support for a mission like this, for a cause like this.
So when we approached them, they were happy to help us, to support us. So that's how they helped us and then make my dream come into reality. So thankful.
I'm sure you will continue to campaign for this purpose, even on social media, right?
Right. Because that is what I am so much concerned. So wherever my journey takes me, I seize every opportunity to talk about this very thing. Wherever I am called as a speaker or wherever I do take this opportunity to talk about substance abuse.
That's very nice. I think it's a worthy cause. So please keep holding on to it and keep spreading the message.
Thank you.
Tomorrow there will be many youngsters thankful to you, like when they get out of it.
Well, hopeful for that.
Now you are also collaborating with many brands, local brands, coaching institute. Sometimes it's I have lost count of it. Right? That means you are directly influencing people in many ways, and I'm sure you are also careful of when you go outside your home, when you walk down the street. You must be also, very careful of, how you talk to people and so on. That consciousness you can't ignore.
Yes,
it just comes to you.
Well, of course.
So when you walk down the street, how did you manage to talk to people? People will recognize you everywhere you go.
Well, one bad thing about me is I'm so bad in my vision. I'm so bad in recognizing people as well as remembering their faces. So as long as I know them, of course I do approach them and speak to them, greet them. But there are times when people will notice me, but I will not. They will go back home saying that I was being too proud or too over smart that I didn't even talk to them.
Smart.
It's my bad, my bad for not recognizing them. But like I'm just saying it, if you recognize me and if you come and greet me, then I will definitely be happy to greet you back and then say, give a hello back. I will definitely, or else intentionally I will not ignore someone just like that. So
Absolutely.
This is a message which I want to tell to the people as well.
But as a social media influencer with a huge platform, sometimes do you feel uneasy that you just can't be like anyone, just be out in the community, in the social life without bothering who sees me, who looks at me, because you can't do that anymore, right? Do you feel uncomfortable sometimes?
Well, to be honest, of course, like the previous question also, you were asking me about that, right?
Right.
So, yes, we need to be careful of wherever we go, whatever we wear, whatever whatever we are doing in the public.
Exactly.
So, yes, we make sure that we are being mindful and careful of what we present towards the community, in the society, the crowd.
But you're fine with it, and that's the good way of it. You can just humbly go anywhere and just
it's not that we act. It's you just be yourself. So it's not that we have to be very conscious about what just being us. Just be who you are. I will just be genuine, the same old me
Exactly.
before what I was. So it's not quite of a big thing when it comes to that, actually.
I think your followers know you very well on that line. That's why I think they respect you for that. You don't try to act over smart or whatever. Like, I think that's a beautiful way of, let's say, giving a message that we all should be authentic and just be ourselves.
Yeah.
And let's appreciate each other.
Right.
Right. And for your followers and for our audience, what should people expect Hikali to become in, let's say, in 5 years down the line?
They should see me a better version of myself, because that's where we are working on every day,
Right.
trying to be the better version of ourselves.
Right.
And I will expect them to see me achieving my goals, the plans that I had, keeping sure in mind that what God has in store for us,
Correct.
His plan, going in
Correct.
His plan. So yeah, the happier me, the happy me.
Correct. So let's get into more specifics now. If you were to say, or if you're comfortable talking about your goal and your aim in life, what is it that you want to become?
Well, I think I've mentioned it before as well, but as I reflect on to my initial goal, the ultimate goal that I have as an engineering student,
Yep.
my journey is still unfolding.
Okay.
So I want to, as I strive to build my character, I want to believe and continue to trust in His plan with faith and gratitude.
Correct.
So
That's nice. That's nice.
that
I wish you achieve all of that and contribute to our society, and especially take care of your parents and so on. You said you come from a very humble background, and I'm sure your parents will be extremely proud of you when you finally ultimately reach that goal. And how supportive are your parents when it comes to, do they sometimes pressure you to write for civil service exam and all?
yes, of course they are.
And how do you respond? How do you tackle that?
Just trust trust me or trust God. Yeah, that's all I can reply right now, because I do know that I have my responsibility towards my initial goal that I have. So they're not wrong when they are concerned about that. So
Of course.
yeah.
But do you ever wish sometimes, I can be a civil servant as well, EAC, DC, all this IES and BSc civil servants, NCS. Does it strike your mind sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, back then, before this glamorous world was introduced to me, I thought that right after right after I graduate my bachelor's, I will write for exams and then, pass my examination. That's how I thought.
Okay.
But then, see, it's all in God's plan.
Yeah.
And these 2 years, I have invested somewhere else, towards somewhere else. But at the end of the day, lately I have realized that it's all His plan. So I don't regret whatever I have done for the society and for the people.
Absolutely.
So I believe that I am in the right track, and whatever I am doing right now, I believe that I'm in the right track. And then, that's how I am.
Yeah, and you're happy with it.
Happy.
Extremely happy with what
Pleased.
you're doing, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I think if audience don't know about her, Hikali is just 25 years old, and I think she has a long way to go. She can experiment a lot of things that she wants to do in life and choose what's best for her, and what you're most passionate about, and listening to where God is leading you, right?
Right.
I mean, you can definitely explore the best thing that you can do. You still have many years to. That's the advantage of being young, right? Yeah. If there is any last thought for our viewers as well as for your audience, for your followers, what do you have any thoughts that you want to share with them through our channel?
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple message or whatever.
Okay. So well, since we're talking about more on religious stuff, I would love to say one advice which I often do tell to people if I get the opportunity.
Right.
So sin, we all know that sin is emerging every day in its new form. Right. So my advice is, don't be a fashionable sinner. That's what I will want to give an advice to, especially to the youngsters.
Wow.
Yeah. And secondly, my message will be, I told you that I woke up this morning and saw 100,000 followers. So I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I want to tell, I want to give my gratitude to those 100,000 followers who are following me and supporting me till today. Thank you very much. And I really pray that, God will bless you as much as He has blessed me. Yeah.
And you will continue to be that model where everyone can trust, everyone can look up to, and their young daughters, small daughters can look up to.
I believe.
Right?
I believe.
Yeah. I think that's the best way of utilizing social media, and I'm glad you are a person who is heading towards that direction. Who wants to become a model for young men and young women especially. Because we need that kind of model in our society, not just having like 200K followers and and not taking care of our values and beliefs and faith system and so on, right? Those are very, very important. I'm glad you are doing that, and I want to appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
And I'm also one of your followers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So thanks for coming and talking to us. And I think it's a simple message, a very simple conversation. But when you look, very basic, but when you look at it, it always reminds us that this is the thing that we need in our society, in our life. It's about God, it's about moral, it's about ethics, it's about hard work, and it's about giving back to our society. So what else we can talk, what more we can talk about, right? Yeah.
Right.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you are such a very honest and very sincere, authentic person, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you very
Right.
much. It's been an honor.
Thank you so much, Hikali.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll talk again in the future.
Surely.
Thank you.
Let's do that.
Yeah.